Hi everyone, I've just had a birthday and you're not going to believe what I got as a present. I'm so excited to show you the new addition to my craft room. Yep, it's a Cricut Maker 3. So now I can use all that great artwork that comes out for digital stuff from close to my heart and other SVG files. So I've been teaching myself how to do it all, and I'm so excited to show you what I've come up with for my first Cricut/paper piecing layout. Check it out.
In both our seasonal catalogue and our core catalogue, there's lots of digital artwork for sale. This is the one I'm going to use today. It's the Storybook digital art collection, and they all come as SVG files. So whilst I've got a Cricut, they can be used on any cutting machine. So what you can do is take apart these images so that you have the individual pieces that you want to use. So what I'm using today is, I quite like the cloud type borders that are behind this double layout, and also the memories words there. So I'm also going to use the unicorn, but in my story I just need a horse, so I'm going to remove his horn. The two photos I'm working with today are these ones from my childhood. My mother made this outfit for me to go to a fancy dress event as a circus pony. I can't remember the event at all, but I do remember my mother's frustration while she was making the outfit at trying to get the layers of tulle together at the waist. There's layers in the skirt, and she gathered them all and had to stitch them together, and it was a really big feat. She did amazingly well. My father loved to take photos, and we used to pose on this veranda for any important event. So thankfully, on the back of the photo, he has written that this is Linda as a circus pony, November 1970. And in brackets, in case I couldn't figure it out, it's when I was 5 years old. So thank you, Dad. It's so good and such a reminder to us to write something about the photos that we take today, so that future generations will be able to figure out what is going on in the photos. So I'm going to stick these onto a mount of sapphire, which will blend in nicely with the tail and the mane of the circus pony, and then onto a back cardstock of ballerina, which is a beautiful pink colour, and because I've got pink slippers on, and because I'm a young girl, it's definitely got to have some pink into it. So I'll stick these down and have them all ready to put on the layout, which I'm then going to get organised through the Cricut machine. One thing I learnt using the Design Space app was that you can do all sorts of things with the shapes. So this border was originally 12 inches long, but because I don't have the mat long enough to cut a whole piece 12 inches long, I managed to slice it into two and cut them at the right places so that they'll fit behind the ultimate layout that I'm looking at finishing. So I've ended up with these pieces of cardstock, and they're all going to line up behind each other there and provide a nice background. But just to soften the cut edges, I'm going to use the coordinating inks just to go very slightly over the edges of the cut to soften that and to blend them in a little bit and make them look a little less harsh. So I do this exercise a lot with cut edges to help blend things into the page. So I'll just work my way around all of them here, and then they'll be able to be stuck down onto the page and give us that nice floaty sort of background. So now that those edgings are all dry and the mat's been cleaned and wiped off so it's dry too, we can stick all of these floaty pieces down onto the white cardstock. As you can see, there's quite a significant join where these have come together. So we're going to cover those, one with our circus pony, who started out as a unicorn, but I've taken his horn off. So they come as separate pieces that get cut on different colours of cardstock and then are all adhered together. And he sits just nicely over that gap or join in the white cloudy piece. And then I'll bring the photos in to cover the other join. So I'm very mindful when I put photos onto a page that I want things looking into the page rather than looking out. If I put this down here, for example, I would be looking out of the page. So up on the top right, I'm looking into the page, which kind of encompasses the other photo where I'm looking straight out at whoever's looking at the page. And that second photo covers the join really nicely. So I can adhere both those already pre-mounted pictures onto the page, and it's starting to take shape quite nicely. So to do the title, I really wanted to use this Memories title from the Digital Art Collection, but on its own it seemed a little bit flimsy to go with the size of the clouds the way I had arranged them on the page. So I had seen, I think it was Janice Gilhooly mention an offset button. So I did some research and printed the Memories in sapphire and pushed the button called offset and came out with this lovely bit around the background, which I have cut in a mink. So I quite like the way that just gives it a little bit of substance and blends in with the horse because he's a mink colour as well. So when I stick the Memories title on top of its offset piece with the eye dotted as well, that's the way it comes together. So it gives it some nice substance to the page. So to blend in with this colour, I have used the same piece of cardstock and made the numerals 1970 just with the Cuttlebug to put up the top, and this is the way it looks when it's finished, except for a few embellishments which I choose to do with the retired stock of the Bashful pearls. The pearls come in 3 different sizes, but initially I just used 2 and then decided to go back and change the other sets to have 3 sets of 3 different sizes. And then adding some journaling to the bottom of the page using what my wonderful dad had written on the back of the photo, along with my own memories, and the page is done. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a few close-ups.